Just like I had no problem with other songs, like Daydream's a perfect example. I'd have no problem inviting in a singer that I really like and have them sing the song and still call it Smashing Pumpkins. I'd have no problem. And if it got on the radio, it'd be even better. I have no fucking problem with that. Because at the end of the day, the franchise needs fresh blood, needs fresh ideas. I'm not saying I can't generate them. I just don't feel I can generate them in a way that will satisfy everybody's idea of what it needs to be. So it almost would be better off if it was just like a big party with a lot of voices and a lot of people competing, and I could play conductor. Maybe out of that, I'd pull some magic that would get the whole thing rolling again. But me against the world, I mean, that's just not a good idea anymore. I mean, it just doesn't work. I mean, if you think about it, and I think this is a good way to end, if you think about it, me against the world plays right into the clickbait world. It plays right into it. You know, it's Don Quixote. You know, I'm railing against the digital windmill. You know what I mean? And the fact of the matter is look around at your world, politically, socially, culturally. Apathy is the key defining word in this culture right now. It's an incredible apathy. People will hashtag all they want about a tragedy, but they will, 99.9% of them will do fuck all. They won't actually do anything. They'll feel through that thing, but they won't actually do anything. And so breaking through the apathy is probably the toughest thing. And having broken through apathy at various times, I feel I have a pretty good read on what would do it. And it's not lighting yourself on fire, and it's not chasing digital windmills and becoming clickbait for name your website. I mean, I had to laugh. I woke up this morning, and here it comes, right? Watch Smashing Pumpkins perform Gish in under 3 minutes. Okay? One website ran that. Oh, that's kind of interesting, right? It started as a joke live, Old School Pumpkins. We're just up there joking with the audience. They start shouting our request. We decide, just as a laugh, we're going to play all the Gish acoustic, right? I don't know if you saw it. I mean, maybe it's not as funny. It seemed funny in the moment. Okay, fine. Day goes on. Here comes another website. Here comes another website. About 6 websites later, now people are retweeting. It's viral. What is that? It's the past. It's different. It's clickbait, right? So what I'm saying is, if I tweet it, I wrote a great new song, is that going to be picked up viral? No. What I'm saying is, quality is not clickbait. So if you're going to rail against the man or the system, you are playing right into clickbait. The only way to really truly defeat that or circumvent that system is just to be great. But you have to be great on your own terms. You can't be great on their terms. Because their terms will always default back to the past. And what is the past? It's like when people say, why don't you like to play old songs? It's, no, why don't you like to play those old songs? Especially Pumpkins in our time, the original band, we released over 200 songs. But I know when I walk through that curtain, that 90% of the audience doesn't know more than 20 songs. So even from the classic lineup, with the classic albums, they only know 10% of the material. And even if I played, I mean, there was a tour, I don't know, it was a year or so ago, we were playing Mayonnaise, or 2 years ago, Crickets. Somebody did a poll, maybe you remember, Rolling Stone, Spin, somebody, pick what's the best Pumpkin song ever? Number 1, Mayonnaise. So what is it? Is it the number 1 song, or is it fucking Crickets? Now with this crowd, the people coming to the acoustic shows, it's a highlight every night because that crowd wants to hear the song. More than happy to play the song to a crowd that wants to hear it. But I'm not so happy to play a song with a crowd that's saying, you must play these songs, but we don't want to hear you. Which basically sort of submerges us down with everybody else. That's those same groups with those same bad videos. You understand? We good?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're not good.
I have one quick personal question. Okay, so I'm currently going through a divorce.
Okay.
And I know that you did when you were at my age. So I was just wondering, by the way, ladies, single ladies, call me.
Going through it doesn't make you single.
Yeah. So I'm just like,
You should ask for advice as Doug. Doug will be much more helpful to you.
I saw him Doug yesterday. It seems a little suspect.
Doug's been happily married for how long?
20 years in April.
Okay.
You're not applauding me, you're applauding my saint of a wife.
I was just
Anyway.
Judging from your past
Soon to be
experiences,
dumped
like,
guy.
how would you tell somebody how they can deal with it in the most positive way?
Just rephrase the question one more time.
Okay, so you went through a divorce around the same age, and I was just wondering, like, judging from your past experiences, like, how should I go about it in the most positive manner? Like, what's the best way, like, if you learn from how you dealt with it?
Well, if you mind me asking one question, do you want to get divorced?
Yes.
Okay.
Run her over with a car.
So what's the well, okay, so if you want to get divorced, what's the
No,
problem?
I'm saying there's still that, it's like I do back then, you know what I mean?
Well, that's why I asked you the question.
Yeah.
Because if you truly want to get divorced, there's no problem.
Right.
If you truly don't want to get divorced, well, then it's a problem. Here's what I would say, and maybe it answers your question, maybe it doesn't. With most relationships that go south, and it can be any kind of relationship, business relationships too, what is the issue? It's control. You can no longer control the outcome. You no longer have the leverage to control the outcome. So if you really look at yourself, more than likely, your frustration is that you can't control the outcome. When you enter into a sacred contract with somebody, which being in a band is like entering in a sacred contract too, when you enter into that contract, part of that thing is everybody's gonna put their best foot forward, and we're all gonna agree on how this is supposed to go, which is why, referencing the Mike, Nicole, Jeff lineup, I could not get the other two, obviously I'm speaking about, I could not get them to agree on my version of where we were going. Well, in that case, okay, who controls the situation? I do, that's an obvious thing. So when it came to their version versus my version, they're going to lose. We didn't scream about it, there was never it was just like, you go that way, I'll go that way. And they've gone on to do their own musical thing, and I support them in that. They're great musicians and great people. But at the end of the day, this is my situation to control. The problem in real life and love is ultimately you cannot control the other person. And that's usually where relationships go south. But that's basically you're mirroring back, if you can understand it, you're mirroring back in your frustration what you didn't like about the relationship. If you were able to let go in the relationship or out of the relationship, the result is the same. The relationship will actually go where it's meant to go. And just referencing back so something everybody can understand. People get sentimental about the original band lineup, which was a very, very powerful group of people. When we were on the same page, those relationships ran their organic their organic route. And the only relationship that endured is my relationship with Jimmy. The other relationships really ran out of gas at some point, and they only sustained artificially because of the construct of the band or the success of the band. The minute I was able to let go and say, actually, we're meant to go our separate ways, it's fine. And so when people talk about those things, it's they who can't let go of something that I let go of literally 20 years ago. I accepted 20 years ago that this thing was not meant to last. Now when I look back from the distance with no need to control the situation, no need to control the outcome, I'm writing a book, they can write their own book, they can say what they want, I'll say what I want, they can pretend, I can pretend, it doesn't matter. But what I can do now is I can actually go back and appreciate what was great about that relationship. I don't need to control the story of it. I don't need to control the narrative of it. It is what it was. And if you look at most relationships that are successful, it's when you just let them be what they are. They don't have to be more than they are, and they don't have to be less than they are. And there was a very fundamental thing that happened very early on in the band, and I'm saying this in praise. There was a situation, one of the very first rehearsals, when all four of us were in the room. And I sang something. And I don't remember who it was. Honestly, I don't remember who it was. One of them said, what was that line you just said? And I repeated the line. And they said, that's not a very good line. And I said, lyric writing is my department, fuck off. stay the fuck out of my lyric writing. Okay? And they went, and they did. They never, ever came back in that space. They allowed me the space that I needed to write those lyrics. So I honor them for that because I said what I needed from them. Don't fuck with me in this way. Other things arrangements, how a song came in, the sound, those were all open discussions, but lyrics was a closed, it was too sensitive for me. And they respected that. What I'm saying is they let it be what it was. If it was my insecurity reacting, fine. That's what I needed to be safe enough in that space to talk about Space Boy and everything else. I don't think I would have gone there if they hadn't given me that space. They honored that space in me and they let it be. And this is like 1988, when I was writing like spacey goth lyrics. It took me time to develop those things. So I know it's a long-winded way to say, just my point is just, like the Beatles song, just let it be what it is. If it's meant to go, it's meant to go. And let go of trying to control the outcome, because the outcome is going to go where it's going to go anyway. So anyway, God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was supposed to sign everybody's poster, so I'll do that now. Did you end it?
How do you end it?
Come here, Doug. Who laughed at me? How do you feel, Doug?
Feel good. That's because I'm next to Joe.
Nice.
Now I gotta rock and roll.
Say goodbye. Bye. 169, so it couldn't have gone too good.
It sat around 200
Okay.
until we started talking about divorce.
We had, see, they give you the numbers. We had 1,239 viewers, but only